Hey guys, so welcome back, and I just wanted to do a quick overview on these raised beds. Over the past few weeks I've gotten several questions and comments about how they're made, how they work, so I thought I would take a moment to address those questions. I did do a video about a year ago when I was making one of these and went through the entire process. However, and I'm going to link that up here and down below, but before you go watch that, you need to know there's about 3 things that over the last year or so I have changed because the initial design that I created wasn't quite perfect. There were about 3 things wrong with this design. I'm going to just walk you through all 3 so you can still go back and watch that other video, because I'm not going to go through the entire process here, but you want to have the 3 things in mind as you're going to build that bed. Now I will say these beds have been unbelievable. The first crop that I had was last summer, and I had it full of squash, and I think I had some tomatoes in there, but it worked really well. These 3 beds were built this February, just a few months ago. These are 4 by 10, so they're a little bit bigger, but they're a lot stronger, and that is the first difference that you want to make sure of when you're going to build these. Take the first design, that first video that I'm linking here, but instead of 2 by 3s, which were the main structure of the other 2 beds, I upgraded to 2 by 4s. That extra inch makes all the difference. These are so much more sturdy. They don't need the cross pieces, and I can actually stand, sit on these without a problem. The second thing is the other beds, the rails along the top and the bottom of the lengthwise rails were 2 pieces put together. So 2 5-foot 2 by 3s that met in the middle. That created a situation in the middle where even though I had the cross braces, it was a weak point. With these beds, it's one long 10-foot 2 by 4. So it's much stronger. The third difference is in that first bed in the video that I'm linking, I only put plastic around the sides and not on the bottom. Huge mistake. There was way too good a drainage. I mean, water wouldn't even stay in there. It would literally, you put the hose on there and it would run right out the bottom and not even saturate very far out from wherever the hose was. So I had to take all the soil out of that bed and reline the entire thing with plastic. Now, I know lots of people are very opinionated on plastic in the garden, and if you don't like plastic in the garden, don't use it. However, I have done my research where I feel that a polyethylene plastic is a food safe plastic. So definitely if you're going to use plastic, find a food safe plastic, and you know what, you should do your own research. Don't take my word for it, but this is something that I found that I feel is safe for my family. But if you don't like it, don't use it. But you also probably won't be able to have this type of bed because you do need something to hold the water. So anyway, and I'll link the plastic I use down below if you're going to go that route. But basically the entire inside is lined with 1 piece of plastic. It's basically just secured. I put a couple staples around, but then the dirt holds the plastic in place. And then depending on your climate and the type of soil that you put in the beds will depend on how many holes you need to poke in the bottom of the plastic for drainage. Now here, because we have very dry weather in the summer and a lot of times in the winter, and because it's a raised bed, and the compost that I put in, which I'll also link that down below, is very well draining, I didn't want to put a lot of holes. But the good thing is you can kind of just put a few holes in the beginning, and then as you see how it's working, you can just use something that's long enough to just poke a few more holes and just customize it to how you feel that your bed actually needs once you're starting to water and see how it reacts to the soil and the weather. So that's the 3 main changes to the bed. One other one that I will mention, in the first 2 beds, the the vertical pieces along the side were merely cosmetic, just to add some interest and some contrast. In the final 3 beds here, those actually served as support for these fence pieces here, these 6-inch fence pickets, because in the other bed you will notice that there is some bowing of the fence pickets with the weight of the soil inside. So with these, yes, they are decorative along the outside, but those were screwed through that decorative front piece, through the fence picket, and into another piece back here that actually comes up a little bit above this level and a little bit below. So it holds the dirt as it pushes out. So I'm not having any bowing with these planters at all. But other than that, I love these. I think you will love them. You can take what I did, this huge expansive piece of concrete that was completely unusable, turned it into almost 300 square feet of growing space. And each one of these, you can grow a lot of food, especially if you grow vertically. You can fit a lot of food in just one of these. So give it a try. I think you'll really like it. Definitely use that other video. It's perfect. It will tell you everything you need to know as long as you follow these changes so you don't end up having to redo it like I did. And I will see you guys next time.